Hi. So energetic bulimia, what might that be? In my past, I have very much struggled with bulimia. And then when I found out that my parents knew that I was throwing up and actually it benefited them, I really got fat for vengeance. So I binge ate, but that wasn't something that ever left me. So I have a few methods for controlling that behavior, which is literally taking it into my own hands and controlling it. Like, I do not limit myself about food. If I say, I'm only going to have one of these things, that's never going to work. So if I'm going to indulge in something that I think might elicit shame in me, before I even indulge, give myself an extreme amount of permission to eat as much of it as I want. That permission goes a long way if you have a mind that is rebellious. So there's a middle ground that I found, giving myself that permission, because my mind does not limit myself, and then I can actually listen to my body. But when my mind limits myself and I go, you can only have one. There's 3 in your mouth now. I can no longer listen to my body because I'm consumed with my mind and my shame. So there's another way that people with these tendencies create circumstances in their life which are covert circumstances of energetic bulimia. And that is somebody who will ask for what they want, get it, and then shame themselves for getting it, find out reasons why they shouldn't have it, think about how these things are going to be taken away that they get, and that in and of itself is this act of I'm receiving, I'm pouring it down my throat, I'm letting it in, but the second it gets to my guts, I have to throw it back up. I am receiving what I asked for, but I cannot digest what I am receiving. And it could go the other way too. I'm a person who does coffee enemas. I work with some people who do coffee enemas when they overeat. And there is this system, this ritual of when it comes in, get it out. And we do that with life experiences also. And that's the danger. A lot of people I work with are actually people who live the lives that they want to live because they're rebellious, right? They're like out doing their thing, but they don't receive the life that they're living. They cannot yet digest that that's actually the plot in the healing grid that they're on, that they're literally enjoying, they're literally loving the life that they're living, or they're living the life that they think that they would love, but they can't feel the love for that life because they're not willing or able to receive it. There's a disconnect between receiving and digesting, I should say, right? Like I remember years ago, I worked with somebody who I would say something, she'd be like, yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that, right? She was never able, and I would just say, slow down, just chew on what I'm saying. Just chew on it. Because she would never drink it enough. She always brought it back up to her mind to have some rebuttal, right? And a lot of people I work with, we literally don't know how to receive. Receiving feels dangerous. So when life experiences come in, we quickly go, oh, gotta get it out. And the thing about this is most of us with that dynamic have probably, especially in downloaded programming from childhood, been mostly in situations in which we put ourselves in a petri dish that we go, oh shit, I need to get out of here. Somebody's poking and prodding at me. I need to get out. I need to find a way to get out. I need to find a way to get out. And then we grow up and we might be in our 80s and we're still looking for ways to get out, when the truth is we've created a life in which now would be an appropriate time to get into because it's safe to be in here now. But a lot of the people that I work with can't get into their bodies because they cannot receive what they are asking for or what they've created for themselves. They find an element of potential gluttony or shame or, oh my God, now that I have received it, this was always a big one for me. Like, what's the point of getting it anyway? It just can be taken away. Like, I've seen that happen a lot in my life. Like the only person in my family who was ever actually wealthy lost it by a bad business deal in like a split second. And that was when I was really young and I had this idea, like, what's the point of that? Like, congratulations that you were a millionaire, like multiple times over, but now that's all gone. And now all you have is the contrast. And that contrast will make people insane. So I want to just point this out and ask, in what ways in your own life do you elicit that response from yourself of energetic bulimia, where you are actually taking something in that could give you nutrients, but you quickly spit it back out because you're so used to having to spit it back out. The second you get in the self, you go, oh, I'm not allowed to be in here. Let me quick get it out. We do this with food. We do this with our own energy. We do this with life experiences. Oh my God, I'm having this life experience. It's in me. It's in me. Got to get it out, right? And then we're not congruent with the inner and the outer, right? We just we're having these life experiences and go, well, that's not really my life. I'm not really here, even though everybody in your life would be like, yeah, you're actually really here. And I get it. You can't feel like you are where you are, but that doesn't mean you aren't where you are. And the goal at that place is to actually learn to receive in a way that we can digest, so that our body and our energy can take the nutrients from our food, from our life experiences, from the circumstances we put ourselves in. But very often, I am sitting on the phone with somebody who will receive and will not receive. And that, in a way, this is like a sacral chakra issue. Like the will itself is receptive, but the mind goes, oh, you can't really receive that. If you do, I'm going to punish you, or something's going to be bad, right? So a lot of times this person is really staying up here and using this place to get it all out, right? Like, okay, I'm going to control my guts and what they do and the way that they digest by puking it up or by coffee enemas it out. Or there's this element of, if it comes in, it has to come out. If it comes in, get it out really quickly. And sometimes what comes in is more of the same self. And when we notice, oh, this is me. This is my alignment coming in. This is something that feels congruent with me. Then we get scared, right? Then we're like, oh my God, it's going to be taken away. But a lot of times when it feels like it's not in alignment with us, we also puke it up, right? Either way, there's this element of, okay, it's not right for me, I'm going to throw it up, or it is right for me, and let me just throw it up now so nobody else can control taking it away from me. So there is actually such a thing that manifests in many different forms. I'm just using food as this example, but as energetic bulimia. And it's a very big component to most of the people that I work with. So I'm just inviting you to consider, in what ways in your own life are you taking in, and instead of actually calming to digest what you've received, you spit it back out with intellect, or you spit it back out with vomit, or you spit it back out with a rebuttal, instead of actually just receiving. So it's a big thing, right? Energetic bulimia is a really serious pattern that I work with. That is a real thing. It's an invisible thing. And a lot of people, it manifests in food. But food is by no means the only way that it manifests. Sometimes it sometimes it manifests in intellectual debates. Sometimes it manifests in self-sabotage. That's a big one. Oh my God, I got what I want. Let me self-sabotage this thing. Oh my God, I think I might get what I want. That terrifies me. Let me just puke that back up so I'm in control. The mind is in control of who's in control here. And there is the will space of your physical body has a blueprint that your will be done. And sometimes your mind can't catch up to that will, and your mind wants to control the will. And if you have a very depleted will, right, because your mind has always talked yourself out of it, you're going to have to work on allowing that silence and that digestion to be what it is without your mental control over its processes, right? So yeah, I just want to put that out there for you. Energetic bulimia is a real thing. How does it show up in your life? Bye.